Hi everybody and welcome to this book video. I just wanted to say hi, welcome. If you are here for books, that's cool. If you're not, like, there's other stuff on the YouTube. Here are my last 8 books that I've read in 2020. So I've read a grand total of 13 books. We got my coffee, we got notes I took, and we have Goodreads. So get some coffee, get some tea. It might be a little bit of a longer video. We'll see. I'm about to talk about 8 books. So since the last time I've done this, libraries and stuff are still kind of haven't really been open, and with quarantine and self-isolation and stuff like that. So I will be inserting book pictures here, and then the names of the books and stuff right here and what I gave them. Also, like what date I finished them, stuff like that. I'm dyslexic, so if I pronounce a name wrong or an author's name wrong, I apologize. If it's like your favorite book and you're like, you butchered the name, I apologize. Yes, I have no makeup on. Welcome to No Makeup Jenna. And then, yes, I broke out. And this is my Ariel cosplay bow. I got this from Hot Topic because it's an Ariel type of day. So, with further ado, I do have a couple of copies of the book I will hold up. If not, I'll just talk about it. So I'll be looking down at my phone and we will discuss. So the first book, well, technically the 6th book that I read this year was Once Upon a Winter's Eve by Tessa. So I was watching a YouTuber during my self-quarantine time, and she was reading all these Tessa, and she said the way that she presented it was really interesting. So I hopped onto Hoopla, which is what my library has to offer for audiobooks, and I hopped on the bandwagon and read one of the Tessa books. It was really, really short. It's like a 1.5, so novella, I think that's what it's technically called. I finished it April 21st. It's a Shattered Coves edition, the sampler publication ebook. So I don't know what the difference between an ebook and a book page count, but it's only like 113 pages. Super short audiobook. I read it like in a day, like a full day of cleaning. I finished it. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I kind of liked how it jumped into like the world and how everybody just was in their own space. And this girl, like the character didn't just fall for a boy. As you can tell by the cover, it's kind of a adult romance. Not really my cup of tea, but it was something like to get myself out of stuff that was going on in the world, and it was to me to just get out of the world and into like old fantasy and stuff, or not fantasy, what's it called, like old time people. If I think about it, I'll remember. So that was the first book in this video that we're going to talk about. The 7th book that I read this year is Harry Potter book 5, which is Harry Potter and the, oh wow, I'm a Harry Potter fan and I don't know this off the top of my head. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix by J.K. Rowling. I was participating in the Owls readathon, and I just continued. I was in a Harry Potter mood. I was only going to read the 4th one this year and the 5th one this year, which is this one. And as you can tell by this list, I just jumped into the world of Harry Potter and have never really jumped back out. I finished this March 1st, 2020, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Let's just talk about it. I'm obsessed with Harry Potter, so Harry Potter 5 out of 5. Good book, get me out of the mood of quarantine and self-isolation and stuff like that, and it was a really good book. So 5 out of 5 is Harry Potter. The 8th book I read this way, which I was recommended by Riley, I think is her first name. I will link people like booktubers I mentioned. They're way popular than I am, but if they stumble upon this video, hi. She did a 24-hour readathon video, and she pitched it good, and I was like, okay, I'll try it, because they're really short books. So I was reading this one, I think we were traveling when I started reading this one, and I have since almost completed the series, and I'm going to DNF the series. There's one more book that just came out, and it is not my cup of tea at all. I actually hate one of the books, and I'll probably do a future book rant video on it. I will talk about a little bit briefly in this video, but it is you guys are so anticipated. Every Heart a Doorway, The Wayward Children's book number 1 by Sina McGuller. I don't know. Her names are here. I rated it 3 out of 5 stars. It was small. Let's look at book details. I finished that in May. The hardcover is 137 pages, so it's not really that big, and it was pitched so beautifully. It's like pitched like Narnia and the kids that come back from Narnia and their life, and it was good. It was a good first book. Like, I liked it as a standalone. Like, if it was just a standalone book, I would have been fine with it. I was warned by her about different character development, and like, I'm not very well versed in it, so if like you really want to know, you can reach out to her videos and look at those. And she did a whole 24-hour book vlog, which I watched, and I was like, ooh, that sounds really interesting, just the way that she pitched it. And for me, being a 26-year-old married woman to my husband, it just wasn't appealing. I didn't relate to any of the characters. I wasn't a kid again. I didn't relate at all to them whatsoever. So, not my favorite cup of tea. And then I was like, okay, let's just jump in and try the novella, or the second book of that series, which is the 9th book that I read, which is Down Among the Sticks and Bones. Actually, out of all the books in this book series, I really like this one. It was only because there were twins, Roger and Dodger, which are girl twins, and it was their story of like them going to where they went and them coming back. And I related kind of that because me and my twin sister are twins, but just some of the formatting of, like, spoiler alert, some of the formatting of the characters' development was just kind of stupid in my opinion. Like, there was like very like, this person's gonna be a girly girl and this one's gonna be a tomboy just based on their parents, what they want them to be, Roger and Dodger, or that's their new names. It was Jack and Jill, or Jacqueline and Dilly. Oh wow, I just mixed up 2 book series. Roger and Dodger was the Called Out the Hawk. It was the one with the hand. If I find the book, I'll put it here. That's the other twin book. This one had Jack and Jill. Sorry, I just like for 2 minutes on Roger and Dodger. But see, it was twins, and like, it was just the way that it was stated. It was just, I don't know. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I actually like that one out of all the series. I probably would read that one again just because the twin thing. But like, the way that the characters were developed, they weren't really stated like girly girl, tomboy. I mean, they kind of were, but then like their personality, like I couldn't debate if Jack wanted to be a male or just like protagonized as a male. Like, I don't know. So it wasn't a really relatable book. In book 2, I mean, my sister and I did complete the series, hence why we're talking about this in this series. She liked them a little bit better than I did. She's more of the fantasy one, of like that kind of fantasy. I'm more of like Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Aragon, that kind of fantasy. I don't know the difference, what those mean. I'm very bad at describing that type of world, but it's just something I didn't really like relate to. So, moving on to my 10th book that I read this year was Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I was on Harry Potter binge, and of course, 5 out of 5 stars. I finished this March. Oh wow, I did not finish that one March. Wow. Okay, so I finished that one May 18th. So the first time oh, that's cool. I didn't know Goodreads did that. Sorry, it's white over white. But Goodreads will do it if you like reread a book and you put as like start and finish date. So then I finished this one May 18th, 2020. I'm gonna go back and look up Harry Potter, the other one. That is so cool. So back to Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. I finished that April 23rd. So we're getting there. Now on to my 11th book, which is book 3 in the Wayward Children series, Beneath the Sugar Skies, and I gave this 1 star. 1 star, because I finished it, and it is probably going to be in one of my worst books that you should never read type video. I hated this book. It was very like character, let's just fill in stuff that could happen but not happen. There was a plus size character that was badly represented, and she, like, some things they went on, like in the first book, about a character that was like bisexual, pansexual, and it was very like 1 paragraph talked about, and that was it. Never talked about again. And in this book, Beneath the Sugar Skies, there was like a whole chapter of how this girl was fat. And I don't know about you, but that is something that I relate to. I'm a plus size woman. I've been plus size since probably puberty. I'm a plus size pregnant woman, and I'm just like, is this your representation? Because if I read this book, which my husband recommends I do a whole rant video about this book, which I probably will. If you want to see that, comment below, because I have some words. And I want people to know, like, if you are plus size and like 13, 14, and you read this book, it makes you feel terrible as a person. Like, it makes you feel horrible. Like, she had, the way how she got to her mermaid place, she was on the swim team, spoiler alert, and how she got to her mermaid world is she took a bunch of pills and died and tried to commit suicide because her friends and other people were making fun of her because she was fat. And I don't know about you, but I hate the word fat in literature. There are some newer books that come out. I will talk about it in the next video. After this video is my mid-year freakout video, which is coming up after this video. So if it's already up, check it out. If not, it'll come up soon. And there's a book in there that I really want to read, and it's about a plus size Instagram enthusiastic person. If I remember, I will insert it here. I almost DNF'd this book, and like, if I had the physical copy, would have ripped it up and burnt it. It was terrible. Like, I relate to the character so much that if that was me, like, reading it, I would hate myself. I would think that this book is like representation of what people actually think plus size women are. I lifeguard for 2 years at Waterworld. Sad it's not open this year because of quarantine and COVID and all that stuff. But I was the plus size lifeguard, but I still lifeguard. And she talked about it, that she was trying to be a lifeguard. She never became a lifeguard because her friends that were lifeguards made fun of her. And because she was fat. And I ranted to my husband for like over 20 minutes about this book. So I'll probably eventually do that at the end of the year this year, of books that I just will never read again. Ones that you should never read and never waste your time on, and this is one of them. So it gave me utmost host to give it 1 out of 5 stars. Never read that book. Terrible representation and all of that stuff. Alright, then, because I was really sick of that book series, really sick of that world, I just randomly picked up this book, Fragment of the Lost, by Megan Marin, insert real name right here. So I got this book at the dollar store. It looks pretty cool. I mean, like, I love the book cover, like the water and then the creepiness of the book. I'm not a big fan of like the pink with the book, but I really like this. So this was a cover by, it was originally 1999, United States. I live in the United States. In Canada, it's $24.99. I don't know why Canada is more expensive. But I got this book at the dollar store. I grabbed it one day. It looked really cool. It's been on my shelf for a while. I've been really honing in and trying to read all of my physical books I have, so I can go through them unhaul the ones I don't want and try to make the space that I have minimal, because we are trying to make room in a 1-bedroom apartment for a baby in October. Surprise! So, it's water. I'm just trying to clean out those. And some of these books, like this one, I've had for years, and I just never, I think I've had this for like actually 6, I bought this year out of the whim, but like it was just one of the books that I was like, please don't be fantasy in this world building. It was cute. It was based on a high school girl, and her boyfriend dies and she has to clean out her boyfriend's, which is kind of stupid in my opinion, boyfriend's room, because his parents are moving. And I could tell you the spoiler alert. I did kind of a bookish vlog on it. If you guys want to see that, I'll post it if you want to see it. But I don't know, like wasn't a really big fan of it. I didn't really relate to the characters because of high schoolness. I'm kind of in a bookish slump right now, so it was just like for me. I mean, it was good, well written, a little bit of mystery, kind of plot predictable halfway through, I guess, the end of the plot, because there was too many like hints that were like too easy. And I'm like, really people, like, you could have written it like Gone Girl or Sharp Objects, where it was just like you had no idea that was coming. This one I finished on May 31st 2020. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I don't know, probably maybe keep this on my shelf for a couple years and then unhaul it. I don't know yet. I just probably would never read it again. So 3 out of 5 stars, not really relatable. Probably forget about it for the end of the year. All right, my last book that we are going to talk about in this book video is the last book that I read, my 13th book, which is In an Absent Dream, Wayward Children's book number 4. And after this, I'm currently done with the Wayward Children. I am not going to touch the last book. I don't want to know. I'm done. My twin sister, Paige, linked below, said, hey, let's read this book. It's the last book in the series. Maybe I'll tie up. This book is actually a lot better. There wasn't fat representation. I actually liked how in the other books the children just go to their world once and never go back to the world. This character went to the world a few times, and it was her development from when she was a kid to a teenager to an adult. So I like that aspect of it. I just don't like some of the narrative about it. The world was slightly confusing. The rules in the world were confusing. The feathers were confusing. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna ever vibe with this author, and if she ever wrote anything else, I would be like, maybe to try, but nothing that I would like pick up on a whim. I might pick it up for like a readathon, but that is the end of that book series that I am currently done with. So those are all 8 books that I read in 2020 so far. My goal is to read 25 books total, so I'm on 13. So I have about 12 more books left to go. And right now I'm kind of in a reading slump. I am reading the 7th book of Harry Potter, What's New. And I have started a new book, Get Out of Your Head by Jenna Allen, I think her last name is. I actually saw her speak at saw a video she spoke at for an IF conference, but I don't know. I'm very like mood reading. I've started about 5 books and I never really finished any. So that is that. If you guys like this video, please like this video, subscribe, leave me a comment, tell me what book in this list that you should be like, Jenna, give it another try, or oh, I think you should read this book, because I would love to know. I'm kind of reading slump and it's driving me nuts. So I hope you guys have a great and wonderful day, and I will talk to y'all in my next video. Bye y'all.